Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm extremely excited about the show we have today. It got some good friends of mine, and got some people that I'm interested in getting a chance to know because, as they always say, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a team to really go out and blossom the world and encourage the world and identify certain things that many of us are experiencing problems with. And, I tell you, this team right here, they got some great things going on, especially in February. And I just cannot wait until to share that information with you all. So I tell you what, if you want to be part of this conversation, I tell you right now, whether you watch it on E360 TV, whether you watch it on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and over 25 other streaming live networks, come on. All you have to do is go to the comments, ask any one of these folks on the team any question you want to, and I promise they will get it back to you. But I can't start a show out without my executive producer and co-host. Let me bring. How you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing out there?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I tell you, other than missing Texas a little bit, I'm doing great. I'm joking about missing Texas. I'm in Southern California. We're having a great time.
Oh, most definitely. I miss Southern California.
Oh yeah.
We'll be back there again in January.
Yeah, we get back here January.
Mhm.
Michelle, I am extremely excited about the show today, and I just want to get it started. So,
Oh my gosh.
this is what I like to do. I want you to introduce the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and we're going to introduce Dr. Joy, and we're going to bring everybody else in and let them introduce themselves. So, so I tell you what, can you get it started?
Oh, yes. Well, audience, the title of today's show is called Growth, Resiliency, Intention, Transformation, and Connection. Parentheses, grit, calm. And we're getting to know the backgrounds of United States Navy veteran and the president and co-founder of Launch Team Consulting, Dr. Joy Bloom Wright, certified money coach and best-selling author Jen Fontanilla, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and co-founder of Launch Team Consulting, Ray Leonard Jr., an evaluation empowerment coach, author, podcaster, producer, live show host, and Doctor of Clinical Psychology, Dr. Summer Watson. We're going to talk about the GritCon conference being held in San Diego, California on February 25th, 2023, and the connection aspect of GritCon and also the importance of sharing personal stories on grit. So let's talk about our today's guest. Let me introduce you to Dr. Joy Wright. Dr. Joy Bloom Wright is a graduate of the United States Naval Academy and one of the first women to assist with the integration of women on aircraft carriers. She served as an active duty Naval Flight Officer on the F-14 Tomcat. She has a master's in psychology and a doctorate in organizational development. She's the president and co-founder of Launch Team Consulting. Launch Team Consulting provides organizational development and leadership consulting. She has over 25 years domestic and international experience as a professional manager, speaker, and consultant, and many, many more things. The James Cooley Show welcomes back, actually, Dr. Joy Bloom Wright to the show.
How you doing, Dr. Joy? We missed you. How you doing?
Thank you so much. And it's an honor to be on Dr. Cooley and Dr. Cooley, both of y'all. So it's always an honor to be on this show with you and both and to see you again. And we missed you out here in California, Michelle. So come back soon. We'll see you in January.
Oh yeah. Hey, Dr. Joy. So first of all, just what I like to do. So I want to introduce that great team of yours and let them tell our listeners and our audience a little bit about them. We're gonna go with Ray first. They already know who he is. I mean, he co-hosts with me for about 14 months. So, how you doing, Ray? How you doing, my friend? Okay, I think you on mute, my friend.
Unmuted, my bad. I've done this enough. I would know how to do it. My God, man, good to see you. Good to see Michelle. Dr. Joy, everybody's a doctor. I need to put the doctor beside my name. I need to go back. But I appreciate y'all. I'm happy to be here and having this conversation and sharing all the amazing things that we're doing.
I am very excited about what you guys are doing. You and Dr. Joy co-founded the organization. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners just a little bit about that?
Yeah, we started Launch Team Consulting. Joy and I have been friends with coaching each other's kids for a long time. We met and we just instantly hit. I told her like that's my twin sister. So like you wouldn't know it by looking at it, but that's my I love Dr. Joy, and we built the company together, and we started training for corporations, for the military, and we've done it, for what 8 years now? No, almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
10 years since 2013. So the first 3 years of a company, most companies don't succeed, but when you do it for the right reasons and for you have your values set, it makes a difference. So Launch Team Consulting is a consulting company that does organizational development and leadership training. We do diversity and equity training. We do mentoring. We do a whole bunch of things that make the world and make companies a better place.
All right. Let's bring in Jen. How are you doing, Jen? Can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about you?
Yes, absolutely. So, hello. I have been a certified money coach for the last few years, but I've been in financial services for over 17 years, formerly a financial advisor, but now have taken on a coaching role. But I also have a background in design and branding. So for our team here, I've helped out in that aspect, but definitely also love being in the speaking world, and as well as having been an author of 6 books.
Wow. That's very impressive. Let's bring on Dr. Summer Watson. How you doing? How you doing, Doc?
I am doing very well. Thank you for having me and us on this show today. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. So, a little bit about myself. I am a doctor of clinical psychology. I worked in the field for several years. I started in the field of nonprofit, bringing community together and building program development and organizations and community collaborations. And then my husband decided to join the Marine Corps. And so we were on a journey for 21 years in the Marine Corps. So I was a military spouse, a military family, and supported my husband as he went off to war, as we moved overseas. So yes, I'm right there with you both, Dr. Cooley and Wright, Dr. Wright, being part of that military fabric, so to speak. And I also am a film producer. I've written a book. I've also started my own business. I have a podcast, and I also have a live show with Jen.
Wow. So this is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. So, I want to start this off. First of all, Dr. Joy, can you tell our listeners and our viewers, about the GRIT conference that's coming up, and what does it entail?
Well, GritCon is for growth, resiliency, intention, transformation, and connection. And the team of people that you have just introduced, as you know, Dr. Cooley, when you find a team that builds you up and mentors, and you're one of those, you've mentored my children just like Ray has. And when you find that team that you can work with and create a project together, it is incredible. And so this conference is February 25th, 2023. So it's coming up, and it's in San Diego. And we are going to have some incredible speakers. I know our team is going to tell you about that, and an incredible social at the end. And we're hoping that we can help as many people as we can. We also have some sponsorship opportunities and some ability to help sponsor some veterans and students to come to the conference as well. So we're really excited about GritCon February 25th in San Diego.
Yeah, so GritCon is this a one-day conference? Is it
So we're going to start off with a social on Friday night, the 24th, and then on the 25th, it'll be an all-day conference. And so we'll have a great lineup of speakers, from a fighter pilot to Tammy Bartlett, to a writer and producer, and to a former NFL running back. And so and then we'll go into our panels, and we also have a social at the end. And I know our team is going to tell you all about it, but it will be an incredible day, and hoping Dr. Cooley and Dr. Cooley can be there as well.
Yeah, we're going to try to see what we can do. If we're here in the area, we'll certainly be there.
Absolutely.
So, but resilience is one of the things that you guys are going to be talking about. And I'm going to go directly to Dr. Summer. on that one. Can you tell us about the resiliency portion of this? How that's going to encourage uh, the people that come to the conference, and also get our viewers excited right now.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm so excited to talk about this. One of the things that, well, all of the things that we're going to be talking about, like you said, grit, resiliency, intention, transformation, connection, that's the con part of that, right? But that resiliency component is really, what do you do to get back up? How do you get back up when you feel that either you've been pushed down, or you've fallen down, or you've had a misstep? I don't call them mistakes, I call them missteps. So what is that gain wisdom that you can use to start those next first steps? So we're going to start out the conference with helping you with those first steps. Every single speaker is going to talk about resiliency, grit, all the components of grit, but they're going to be talking about resiliency. Every single one of the speakers, Tammy Barlett to Leslie Rasmussen to Prince Daniels Jr., they've been through something and they had to take first steps. But what's really exciting about this is you don't have to necessarily learn new skills, because you have skills. You need to be able to identify those. But as you learn, as you grow in wisdom, as you grow in so many areas of your life, you can take those skills and apply them in different ways. And so our speakers are going to help you recognize what skills those are, and you're going to be able to take your next first steps.
Wow. I like that. I like that. Hey, Ray, my friend, you grew up in the spotlight, and a lot of times, the light was directly on you. Can you tell our listeners, our viewers, how your resiliency pulled you through and just gave you your identity for the great person that you are today?
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. The conversation comes up about, going through something and getting up from a knockdown. I had the interesting life of being born to teenage parents with nothing, and all of a sudden getting thrust into the limelight and having the rest of my life recorded on film. And every single mistake, every single thing that I did was recorded and judged. So when you talk about being resilient, when you talk about having to come back from a knockdown, talk about having to transform yourself, that's everything that GritCon is about. And my life is a story of that. So I was the hard-headed kid that thought I could do everything by myself. I didn't need any help from anybody. But eventually life puts you back in your place. And I think what happened in these last 2 years, we all had to, readjust, figure out what we wanted to do, figure out what was our place here in this world. And, we had to, sometimes redefine ourselves. And I think my story, Dr. Watson's story, Joy's story, your story are all stories of grit and resilience, right? Jen's story about how do you change yourself when you need to change yourself? How do you make yourself into a better you? Like we talk about, when I always talk about know better, do better. Like it's a constant adjustment, a constant progression for you as a person. We go through ideations as a person, and so we want to be better than we were yesterday, today. So that's the consistency in the move that we're making. And then, we've all been so far apart. We've all been streaming live and doing all these things, but now we want to come back together, create a space where we can help other people go through whatever they're going through and help build up a better world.
Wow. That's great. What about you, Jen? Resiliency. What does that mean to you?
Resiliency to me is being able to overcome any of those hardships, those challenges, those things that life just throws at you. And how do you go through that with grace and ease and flow? And so resiliency is such a quality that I admire in people, to hear their story. Like Ray said, everybody has a story. And sometimes we see people that look like they don't have any problems. And one of my favorite quotes is, you see the glory, but you don't know the story. And so when you get to sit down and hear somebody's story, and especially when they've gone through so much, and sometimes we even react like, I had no idea. You just look like, it's so inspiring, right? Because we are inspired by stories. And so when we see these examples of resiliency, it inspires us. It inspires us that we can overcome so many things, and it inspires us to become better.
Wow. Yeah, all of these answers is great. And I tell you what, encouraging. We're going to take a station break. But just like I said, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you do is go to the comments, ask any of these great people any question you want to. And I tell you what, I promise I'll get it on the screen and we'll get back to you. So we'll see you shortly after the break. It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. It's something you and me. And I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Hey, I'm so drawn to you. I'm so drawn to you. Yeah.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I tell you, just listening to all of these great leaders, great folks, telling us about resiliency and what it means to them is, and that's something that times are always going to get tough somewhere along the line, but we have to be strong enough, and we have to understand that. As long as you believe in yourself, as long as you trust in yourself, as long as you have that can-do attitude, you can do anything that you set your mind to. Anything. So if you want to be part of this and share your story and ask the great folks any question, just go to the comments and ask them any question you want to. Dr. Joy, getting back to the GRID conference that's coming up, and I know it's going to be great, and Michelle and I are going to do everything we can to try to be there. Why do you think it's important to share stories of some of the things that people might be experiencing, and they think that they are the only ones that are having problems or had problems? Why is it so important to share these stories? And if so, I'm going to ask you and the rest of the panel to kind of give us some examples. So I'm start with you first off.
I think that when I was medically retired from the Navy, I was diagnosed with lupus and found out I couldn't fly in the backseat of an F-14 anymore. And I was heartbroken. And in that moment, you feel very alone and you feel like you don't know your next steps forward. And I feel like I was surrounded with people that had their own personal stories. And like Jen said earlier about you see the glory sometimes, I think that the struggles you go through a lot of times you don't hear about. And so when I had the opportunity to start talking to people and surrounding myself with people that did have stories and times they got through that, and I had a supportive family and a supportive spouse, it really helped me go to the next step and find what I love and help me reinvent myself into my next career, which is helping other people and following their dreams. And so I think for the GritCon and our team, I think we all have that in common, is really, and I know you, Dr. Cooley and Michelle both have that as well, where you want to help people, you want to mentor them to that next level. And at GritCon, that's exactly what we want to do on Saturday the 25th, is provide that opportunity to kind of help people reinvent themselves and go to that next level in wherever they are. We've gone through a hard time for the last few years, and it would be a lie to say that we don't go into those dark spots sometimes, but surrounding yourself with people that will help you not just that day, but beyond, and give you tools to take away. That's what we hope to do. And I love surrounding myself with people where we can help each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Summer, what are your thoughts on that? I think your mic is mute.
Thank you so much. Oh, geez. So thank you for that. I think we've all had our stories, right? So I was raised by a solo parent, grew up with a great family, but dad wasn't always in the picture. And so our bio dad wasn't always in the picture. And what did that look like for me? How did that feel? And my mom always saying, hey, you can do anything you want. And yet, you know, in the background, when I was 6 months old, I had a hole in my small intestine. And so throughout my life, I had to confront surgery after surgery after surgery, but it never stopped me from achieving my goals. But the important part of that was mindset. What was my mindset? How was I going to move forward? And I think a lot of the folks that are going to be at this conference are going to be talking about their mindset. And it's not just to say that you have to dismiss or devalue your emotions or how you're feeling. No, recognize those, work through those. But then what does it look like to take those next steps to your success, to achieving your goals? And that's what these speakers are going to speak to. They're going to speak to understanding how to design the journey and your story, how to cultivate a success mindset, how to learn how to re-strategize your mission, how to know how to apply your skill set to achieve your dreams. We're going to be talking about so many of these different things that you're going to want to be there, because these people are amazing. Plus, the connection part is really important. The 2 hours that we're going to have during our mixer, that connection in person sticks in a different way than it does virtually. To meet people and go beyond that transactional relationship of here's my business card, and really get to know somebody and have start a meaningful relationship on the site at the conference is going to be amazing. So those are my offerings.
Wow. Absolutely fantastic. You hit it on the nose when you mentioned mindset, because in order for us to move forward with anything, sometimes we have to refocus our mind and, and make sure that we have the right mindset. Hey, Jen, what are your thoughts on that?
I love mindset because I talk about money mindset all the time. So it's so interesting, this topic, because a lot of people who aren't familiar with mindset, or especially money mindset, don't realize that our subconscious patterns have been placed within us as a child, and we don't stop to think about patterns that we inherited from our parents, from pastors, teachers, anybody that helped raise us. And so we go about life and we take on these thoughts, and then we just keep doing the same thing, or we keep making the same decisions. And it's not that it's bad, it's just how it is. But now, and this is why I like talking about the I in GritCon, which is intention, you always have the power to make the choice. Do I want to do things differently? How do I do things differently? What steps do I need to take in order to be intentional with my decisions so that I can move forward in the right direction, or in the direction that I want to go into? And I think that's why the I is really important to me, because a lot of us may be just wandering through life and not really being intentional with our decisions. And so this is why I love mindset. I think it's so important for us to embrace and to understand, because those thoughts drive our actions. And so it is the reason why everything that is happening in our life is happening. And so we have this opportunity to do something about it if we choose to.
Wow. A great answer. Great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ray, me and you done shared the stage so many times. And so why is mindset in stories so important in getting it across to our audience that you're not the only one that ever went through this or went through that, and that even I have went through some of these things. Can you tell our viewers about that?
Yeah, I mean, mindset is a different thing. When you have somebody that you can say I'm not the only one, because when we're going through our problems, we're all in these silos. We have that tunnel vision that we think is just us going through it, and nobody else has ever had this. But we haven't recreated the wheel. We all have gone through things. That's why we have to have the wisdom of others to help us move forward, because we get better as we learn from others in other situations, the people that have gone through it before. So mindset is a feeling, it's an emotion, it's a strategy. To me, it is how you live your life, because your mind is kind of the strongest thing in your body. It guides you. It gives you. It can be your deterrent. It can be your downfall, but it can also be what uplifts you. And so when you control your mindset, you control your mind, it makes you able to get into a better place. And so with this conference, the cool thing about it is that we're not just going to just talk at you. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have fun. We're going to dance. We're going to laugh. We're going to go through the whole space of emotions. And when you hear Prince talk, he talks about mindset and mindfulness, and about sometimes you have to just be quiet and reset yourself, because we start talking and thinking too much sometimes in our head, and we don't allow, to hear the other voices that are the voices that will make our lives better. So that's the biggest thing for me with mindset. JC, you and I will talk about this all the time, and acronyms and everything else, and how you focus, but you have to be grounded in something. When you ground it in something, you're able to have a building block that actually builds you up and gives you a space to always go back to when you're at your lowest point. So, what we talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. In mindset, and the biggest challenge that many people have is they are unwilling to change. You have to make some type of change in your thought process and what you're doing in order to be able to get out that zone and enter another zone. But I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back.
I was going to ask you, I need the C's, because people need to hear that.
The 4 C's. We'll talk about the 4 C's when I get back. But I tell you, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you do is go to the comments and just ask any question. But also, you need to start planning on being at this conference. And we're going to come back. We're going to tell you how you can get there, how you can be there. And who knows, I might even do a live show there. I don't know. But it's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, just sitting here having fun, just thinking about this great conference that this group is going to have in February, and I believe that if you are able, you want to go to this conference. I know pretty much most of the people that's going to be speaking, especially the Prince Daniel, and all of them are extremely exciting, and they will motivate you, and you will certainly get something out of there. You leave feeling good. And just like my great friend Ray was talking a second ago about the 4 C's, and the 4 C's are the building blocks, I believe, in making sure that you get to the level where you be a character. Create the vision, understanding the focus that you have. But you have to always make sure that you're able to see past the tip of your nose. Collaborate is just like this great team right here. Collaborating, coming together, ideas, putting on a conference to share with everybody their ideals, and motivation, dedication, creation. It all comes with that. So you have to talk among each other. So create, collaborate, commit. You got to commit to yourself. You got to commit to being better. You got to commit to wanting to do the best that you can do. So, and the fourth one is confidence. Look at this panel right here. You don't see nothing but confidence in them. You know what? You go to that conference, you would have the same confidence level that they are having, and they are sharing their stories with you. But most importantly, if you use the 4 C's, create, collaborate, commit with confidence, it builds the big C called character. Life is all about character. So let's get back to this.
I love when you do that, because that particularly strong. I mean, a guide to life. And when you talk about that, JC, that's what it's about with Grit and the Grit Conference. We got to have you on the next one, when our next conference, to come in and talk and speak as well, because we're at, like, it's not just the conference about doing the same thing and us speaking at you. As I said before, it's about diversity of thought. It's about bringing people together. It's about having fun. It's not your normal conference. It's not your regular normal conference. We're gonna have music. We're gonna have maybe a beverage or two. We're gonna have some coffee. we're gonna have a good time, man. But we're gonna have a good time in the name of motivating people or moving people forward. And all of us need help from each other. So that's what we're doing.
We all need help from each other, and I'm talking about collaborative minds, coming together, and that's what people need. I mean, as you all know, we've been through some tough times over the last 2.5 years, and a lot of people are out there hurting. And Dr. Watson, dealing with, you have patients, you have folks, you talk to them about mental health and about a lot of other things. Those types of things are so important now. And if our audience, if you're out there, you need to show up at this conference. It's in San Diego, California.
Mm-hmm.
So
February 25th.
Yeah, February 25th. It is in San Diego. What better place by the beach. You can, it's a family destination. So you go to the conference, have a great time, and bring your family, and you can enjoy the beach as well. So here's the thing. When we were thinking about this conference, Dr. Cooley, we were thinking about, I don't want it to be your typical conference. I want it to be an experience. This is going to be from the time you go to the pre-event and start meeting people, start making those connections, creating those relationships. It's going to start there. It's going to go into the conference where we're going to have a lot of fun. As Ray says, we're not speaking at you. You're with us. This is an experience for us all. So we're going to have fun. We're going to have speakers. Yes. We're going to have panels. Yes. But we want to hear from you. We are also going to have a mentalist who are going to bring people on stage, and he's going to do some fun stuff with us. Oh my goodness. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have the after conference mixer, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a photographer, a photo booth. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to have a bartender. We're going to have some dancing. We have DJ.
You got a DJ when you walk with that DJ Hustle.
DJ Hustle right now is on a bunch of commercials. We just posted one where he's on Big Lots, a Big Lots commercial. I mean, he is so much fun, and he's about the hustle. Like, let's get this going. Let's have a lot of fun. So it is going to be uplifting. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's February 25th, and it's going to be engaging. And we're going to be talking about those first steps. So when you leave, you're going to be like, I want more of that.
That's what it's all about. Is uplifting and coming together and sharing ideas and giving the people that's there an opportunity to ask questions and get things off their chest, and just it's all about that. I want to kind of change it a little bit because I was looking at some of the things. Dr. Watson, I know you and Jen, you guys got a show that you guys do together. But before we get into that, Dr. Watson, tell us about your walk across America and how you was instrumental in raising awareness about suicide prevention and other things.
Okay, so actually it was a drive. It was a drive from DC.
Walk to the car though, Summer.
It was the fourth of them.
I did. There was some walking in there. So I drove from DC to California. It was 3 military spouses, and I'm big on research. And so I started researching the issue of veteran suicide. Being a military spouse for 21 years and watching people and how they would transition or go through transition, which is part of what we're talking about at GritCon. So this would be a great conference for those veterans that are in transition, or those that are transitioning out of the military, or even for military spouses. Because what we did is, I did a bunch of research. We were on a lot of radio shows. We talked about this. I worked with a lot of college students to raise awareness about veteran suicide, because every day we have 18 to 22 veterans committing suicide. Or, yes, it is just so impacting. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to take that drive and we wanted to raise awareness. We wanted to go to the VFWs, the VAs. We wanted to go to different places to raise awareness about this issue and talk to the veterans. And this is why this conference and everything that I put on with teams like this amazing team is so important, because it's not just, as Ray said, talking at people, it's connecting, making those connections. And I'm telling you what, making those connections as I drove across the country, making those connections and hearing and listening and doing that reflective listening about the needs of folks and what resonated with them. That's why we came up with this title, GritCon, because it means growth. It means resiliency. It means intention, transformation, and connection. And to me, starting out early in my career, I knew that bringing community to the table, bringing community to an event was the most important process of change. And if you come to this event, I promise you're going to leave there going, I feel like I can start my next steps. And it is so uplifting. And that's what we did while we went across the country when we did the Drive for Life. We talked to people, we listened, we heard what they had to say, and we started making changes towards raising awareness about veteran suicide and prevention.
Wow, you got me excited. I'm excited. I'm ready to go now. Let's get it started tomorrow.
Do
Hey Jen, so you're certified financial manager. What attracted you to that field, and can you tell our viewers and listeners how you are helping people get their finances in order and understand the rules and regulation about saving money, so that over a period of time they can't use the word broke?
Oh, yes. So, as I mentioned earlier, I have a background in graphic design. And so, early on in the beginning of that career, which I still do it, but in the beginning, it was lucrative. And I was in my early 20s. And I realized, man, I went to college. I don't know anything about what I'm supposed to be doing with this money. Thank goodness I was a saver, but it was, hey, wait, I don't even know about investing. I don't know these terms. And one day, a friend of mine was writing these letters on a piece of paper, and I had no idea what she was doing. I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm picking out my stocks." And I have like FOMO. It wasn't called FOMO back then, but it was this fear of like, I don't know about that. And it hit me, and I realized like, geez, man, I went to college and I don't know anything about this. Do I have to be a finance major? And so, long story short, I decided to become a financial advisor. So I went into that. I still carry my life insurance license, and I realized that most people are intimidated because the industry typically is intimidating. You don't know what questions to ask. And so for me, it was very important to bring, Wall Street to Main Street, as they say, and do it in like down to earth, terms, and explaining it in such a way where, people felt comfortable. People wanted to feel confident about their money, but it takes, that ability to have that conversation at a down to earth level. So, it was that reason, but just simply like not knowing, and I hated not knowing about it. And, the other thing too, is we don't learn it in school. So over the years, what I was noticing, especially towards the end of me being a financial advisor, was that there's some people that just couldn't I can't stick to this budget. I just can't stay disciplined. And that's when I started becoming very, very aware and interested in money mindset, where I'm realizing you have to get to the root level. You can throw spreadsheets and logistics and numbers at people. We can look at, your portfolio and everything. But if we don't get to the root of your mindset, if you don't clear out those money blocks, if you don't understand where these patterns are coming from, why do you overspend, or why do you hoard, or do you even have some philosophies that even might have come from wrong biblical teachings that, for example, you're learning that greed is wrong instead of looking at abundance and prosperity as a blessing from God. There's all these things that can affect your money mindset. So I started diving more into that, because if we can get to the root of the problem and understand how to undo those patterns, then we can start implementing strategies. Then we can start doing the implementation and the action, because we are already aware of where all these blocks came from. So I say all that to come to this conclusion. So it's all over the place, in terms of when I sit with somebody and I ask them, well, what's going on? And we find out, okay, we need to look at your thoughts and your patterns, and what did you learn from your mom or your dad and your childhood? And then we take the steps to see, okay, then what can we implement now? And how do we create at the base level your financial foundation? Because a lot of people want to do like crazy, exciting, sexy stuff. Hey, I want to buy crypto. I want to start investing, when you don't even have the basics down. So, I always talk about building your financial house. You don't build the roof first and then slide the second floor in and then pour the concrete. It doesn't work like that. So people need to learn that you need to set a strong financial foundation first and then build your financial house in the right order.
The conversation, Jen dropped that gospel money management on you. You ain't never heard that before.
I teach a lot of financial literacy classes to churches. So I have that too. So, but and I also have partnered with a company called BetterWealth. And so we bring everything full circle, even especially helping entrepreneurs with their taxes and strategies and things like that. So it's just wonderful to know that it's a different approach, where we're not just looking at numbers and throwing products at you. That I take the approach that, this is why I just love what we had this conversation about earlier about mindset, because it really is the beginning to have more long-lasting, financial success. You got to look.
And you're absolutely right about that. We're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna pick it up. We still got some time. Left. So we're gonna take a station break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna pick it up. And one thing, when I come back, Dr. Joy, we haven't told people how they go about registering for this conference. So I tell you, we're gonna take a station break. And we're going to come back. We're going to continue this great discussion with this panel. It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. See you shortly after the break. Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, / Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do.
Yeah.
Welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I just this great team right here, I tell you, is really educating us and letting us know what's going to happen February 25th in San Diego. And Dr. George getting ready to tell all of you how you can go about registering for this event. And I'm hoping to see you all there. So, hey, Dr. Joe, can you tell our viewers and our listeners how they can go about registering?
Absolutely. Jen just added the link to our landing page in the chat, which that's the easiest, has all the information. She created it. It's you'll get to see a little bit of her talent there. And then also we have an Instagram page. If you're on Instagram, you can just go to @GRIT, the grit, and then CONN. And on there's a link to our Eventbrite. So February 25th, we still have the early bird tickets, and we would love to have everybody there. Get to meet everybody in person, and we really want you, Dr. Cooley and Dr. Michelle Cooley there as well. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, it all depends on what our schedule is like. But it is something that I would love to chat with you about later, because I was serious about potentially hosting a live show there. But we just have to work out the details, but we'll talk about that one later. So Jen, can you tell Jen and Dr. Watson, can you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about you guys' podcast and your show?
Sure. So together we have a show called the Life, Love, and Money Show on Instagram. It is a live show that we host every Thursday, and we talk about life, love, money, and emerging entrepreneurship. So every week we have a different subject. We love it. We have a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, and a lot of great tips for you to, apply to your everyday life. Jen?
Yeah, I love it because the people that engage in the show while we're talking about different topics is what makes it fun. It's very interactive, and it runs the gamut. A lot of it is things that help you get through the regular nuances of life and very actionable steps. And that's what Summer and I are very huge on, it's great if you hear stuff. It's great to get educated, but what good is it if you're not able to take action on it? And so we even end the show with every episode with, we call it the nugget of the day. And so it's that one thing, you know, you heard a bunch of stuff, but there's this one thing that you can do that's going to help you move forward, then we're happy. And so we always offer that tip at the end.
Wow. You know, that's absolutely fantastic. Sound like, so what time do you guys come on? Or is it pre-recorded? Is it live?
It is live. It is on every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is also 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at the Life, Love, and Money Show page on Instagram. So yes, it is so much fun. We love it. We love to engage with community. And this week, we actually talked about being alone for the holidays. But does that mean or equate to being lonely? And we talked about some steps to really change the mindset and some steps to change being kind of blah to we can make a change in our life during the holiday and really get engaged with community and make our traditions different if we need to, if we find ourselves alone during the holiday season.
Wow. You know, so Ray and Dr. Joy, both of you guys got so much going on. The GridCon and all the projects as well. Can you tell our viewers and listeners some of the things, because I know you all, I know you guys are always on the go. Tell our viewers and listeners some other things that you guys got going on.
Well, Joy, you started off in the words of Jay-Z, you can't knock the hustle. Go ahead, Joy. You started off, and then I'll jump in.
Well, just to give you a little background with how Ray and I started working together, y'all were talking about mindset, and Ray was coaching my twins, Jack and James, in football. And it didn't matter what team we went up against. Ray had the most amazing words to say in that huddle, and they could face anything. And it wasn't just about winning those games. They went in there with that confidence and belief that they were going to do their job. And I loved what he did, but he was also already speaking and doing motivational speaking and in his career. And so I'm like, I would love to work with this person. He is amazing. And we had an opportunity with the military. We did a military contract early on back in 2013 and have been doing that since, consulting with Launch Team Consulting, teamed up with Dr. Watson and Jen, and have gone further with this GridCon conference. And Ray can tell you about his amazing stuff with Ovations and also his show. So it's just surrounding yourself with great people like this is amazing for me. I get remotivated in every Monday morning meeting with them. So
that's why I say that's my twin sister, because she just easy transition into everything about working with great people. And for me, that is the key. I don't like to be the smartest person in the room. That's why I surround myself with all these amazing people that are way smarter than me. But we have a great time and we have a mission. And when you're mission focused, it makes things a lot easier to do in life. So, I walk, my God told me that not to have any fear when you walk forward and do what you do. So I believe in everything that I do and the people that I work with. So with Ovations, my new company, that's a talent marketplace. I'm trying to connect people to opportunity and make it easier for people to monetize their time. We're having an amazing time, and all of these amazing people are helping me, and that's what it's all about. So my show, JC, me and JC had a show. We like to bring it back together again. But I have a show that I do called Know Better, Do Better, and I just interview people and tell stories. And then I have another show that I do with Prince, who's going to be speaking at the conference, and we just talk sports. We just have fun. But I believe, time is our most precious resource, and how you spend it is the value that you put on the rest of your life. So I come at my world every single day. I get up, I told you earlier that I just lost one of my best friends suddenly. So, it has motivated me even more to be out here and make my legacy and what I leave back on this world and the people that I touch to be something that's important. So I think GridCon is important because we allow people to connect and allow people to grow. And we're all people that have done it and have had failures and had successes. And so we're not talking from a place of we just read it in the books. We've done it. JC, you've done it. Joy's done it. Jen's done it. Summer's done it. So we are people that are actually had the action of not sitting back, but actually taking the bull by the horns and making things happen. So sorry, add too much to it. But you know, I like to talk.
That's great.
You know, I tell you, you know, we're down to the last minute of the show. You know, I want to thank each and every last one of you for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I encourage anyone that's watching this and listening to this, especially if you're in the San Diego area, to attend this great conference. Who knows? They might take it on the road. You know, thank you guys for sharing that information. And Joy, Dr. Joy, you and I will be talking. We try to figure something out. I just tell you guys, I can tell it's going to be a great conference. You know, my departing note is I want everybody to always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley.